Excuse me. Here we are live. All right. So I did a post yesterday on internal and external, and oh my gosh, how we're letting the external run our lives, hoping for an internal solution or a fix to how we're feeling. And I got a lot of feedback on that. I'm glad. I got a lot of people thinking and hopefully wondering and questioning things. So how do we become self-aware? If you're interested in this, if you really want to become self-aware, if you're ready to get on the path to self-awareness, what is the first step? That is the question that I hear so much from a lot of my clients is, okay, so I'm ready. What do I do now? The first thing in becoming self-aware is you have to raise your awareness on a daily, moment-by-moment basis. Now, the problem for all of us is we're so wired to be unaware, we're so wired to be unconscious that it never even comes to us to be conscious, right? That's just how it is. So the first thing that I would suggest is some kind of reminder or reminders that you can either, depends on how you work, if you're visual, if you're auditory. Some people put up sticky notes, some people put reminders on their phones. Whatever it is, you need some kind of reminder to be aware. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I promise you, try it for a day, try to be aware for a day, and I promise you that for most of the day, you're going to forget to be aware. That's just how the human brain is. So choose some reminders. And what I want you to do for this first step and trying to become aware is when you either see the sticky note. I used to have them in my kitchen. I used to have them in my car. And for me, I just had one word. It was the word watch. And what that meant for me was to watch what was going on, to be aware, to wake up. And so what I want you to watch is what is going on. As information from the outside world comes in, then based on your history, your temperament, your patterns, or your programs from all of your life experience, including in utero, all the way up to where you are now, you have all of these patterns and preferences. And what I talked about yesterday is that instead of allowing each moment to be the moment that we have in front of us, we try to fix the moment to be a certain way so we can be okay with that moment. So as you're going through the day, and that information comes in, especially when it's not information that you like, say something happens and you feel scared or you feel angry or you feel jealous or judgmental or whatever it is, to look and see, just look and see what's going on. We're not even into a solution yet, okay? Solution is not yet. Becoming aware, being empowered, at least being aware of what the hell is going on is the very first step, and it's really a huge part of the solution. So when it comes up, just be aware of what's going on. So you're going to have thoughts, all right? And your thoughts are going to be either visual or auditory, right? Because you can come up with an image in your head, and we also have all these voices in our heads, from our life. So listen to the thoughts. Most of your thoughts, and I'll get into this later, you aren't consciously thinking. Like, I can think right now, okay, my dog is upstairs. I can think that thought. But as you're going through the day, what you're going to begin to notice is that all kinds of thoughts are always coming up that you're not starting. All right, guys, I want you to hear that. You're not causing or creating or beginning a lot of these thoughts. All right, it's not working. It's not like you're sitting down and going, I'm going to think, these 30 thoughts to freak the hell out of myself and be really scared. Those thoughts are coming up by their own volition. All right. And I'm going to get into later on why they are coming up on their own volition, but you're not sitting there creating them. So it's actually these thoughts are coming up. All right. So I just want you to begin to see, like, when that voice is going on in your head, that voice is running on its own. All right, the thoughts that are coming up when you get scared or when you get angry or when you're really, whatever is going on, whatever emotional experience is going on, they are coming up. They are being released. So I want you to notice this, because what happens most of the time is that we have this incessant thoughts that are always going on, and we allow them to dictate basically our entire experience. We just go into alignment with them and we believe that they're true. All right, most of what you think isn't true. That just blew my mind when I first heard it, because I always really just took my thoughts and my emotions as truth, and I got in a lot of trouble. So as you go through the day, I want you to just notice what's going on with my thinking. What am I thinking? Am I scared right now? Is there a lot of thoughts going on? Is it really, really overactive right now? Am I hearing a voice, like an inner critical voice right now? Is there a voice trying to get things to get fixed? Like, what is going on? Be aware of your thinking. And then emotions are different. Emotions are more of kind of like an energetic place, almost like, they're they're not labeled as thoughts. They're more just kind of like shifts in how we're feeling. And then our thoughts mirror that. So try to be aware. Ask yourself, I mean, these might sound like really silly questions, but check in with yourself and ask yourself, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? Because most of us, our minds are so strong that we actually process our emotions mentally. And that's part of the problem, is that we aren't really feeling much of anything. Our feelings are kind of scary for us. And so we process them cognitively. And so ask yourself, like, what the hell am I feeling? Am I feeling mad? Am I feeling sad? Am I feeling frustrated? Am I feeling, you know, the more specific you can get on what you're feeling, the better. But the first step in self-awareness is to be aware of what is going on. The very first step is to be aware. That's where the reminders come in. The second step is to be aware of what's going on. Again, we're not trying to fix or change or control anything. I just want you to be aware of your internal environment. Be aware of the thinking. Be aware of how crazy your internal dialogue can be. Be aware that most of what's coming up, you're not even creating. I mean, that blew me away. You're not creating most of what's going on in your head. You're just a witness to it. All right? It's like going to the movie theater. It's like a big screen in front of you. Watch your emotions. See if you can tell when your emotions are shifting one way or the other. Emotions are different than thoughts. So, you know, that's the homework for today, is to set up some reminders. I have some clients that do reminders on their phones. I have some clients that put sticky notes up. If you come up with something brilliant, please share. I can always use some more strategies, but you can't be aware unless you remember to be aware of step one. And once you have your ability to check in with yourself and be aware set up, then watch what the hell is going on in there. We will get to the solutions. We will get to how to begin to work with that internal experience. But before you can see how absolutely crazy it is, and how basically all you're doing 24 hours a day is trying to change your external environment in order to fit with your patterns and your preferences so you can be okay on the inside, and the futility in that. Nothing's going to change. You got to be able to see what you're attempting to do in your mind before you can change anything. All right, guys, I hope everyone is having a great day, and I'll check in again soon on part 2.